Hello everyone. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to ESA Cup Season 5. We're here with the playoffs. I'm Uncooked. I'm joined by Boz and Max.
Hello, everyone.
How are you doing, my friend?
I'm great. I'm super excited for these playoffs. Like, we've been waiting for this so long. We've been building up to this moment for the past 7 weeks, and we're finally here. And now another route of 7 weeks is starting with these playoffs, where sometimes people go home, sometimes people don't, because we of course have the double elimination brackets. But for now, of course, we're starting with the upper brackets, where the first team will proceed into the second round of the upper bracket, and the other team will proceed into the lower brackets. But I'm very excited. We're also finally going to see some BO3s, which I'm very excited for. So that's all good. I'm very excited. How about you?
Yeah, I'm really excited. So we can probably just delve into the game. If you look up at the top of the screen, you should be able to see now the brackets.
Yes, we can.
NightWolve eSports versus YoD eSports. That is the first game that we have for us today.
Yeah, it's a rather big bracket, actually. Of course, because it has like an upper and lower bracket segments. So as we're going to start with the upper bracket, of course, let's actually take a look at the upper brackets a little bit closer, so you can actually see what you were talking about. NightWolves versus YoD. That's the first match for today, indeed.
Yeah. And it's going to be a pretty close game. Obviously, NightWolve came second in their group, and they had enough points that they got to pick second. So each of the second place teams got to pick which third place team from the groups they started out in. They started off playing, and NightWolve, I believe, picked second. They had 17 points. So 1 point behind Penta, and then you had Entropy and Maniac Suiciders both on 16 points. So both of those teams did pick third and fourth, but yeah, NightWolve second place in Group A. They only had one loss, and that was to Villains, who had a perfect, flawless run. So that's pretty good. They did go to overtime at 1 point as well. That was against Project Black X, who actually didn't qualify for the playoffs. So some possibility of some shakiness there, but their opponents, YoD, Group D, again, another strong group for the first place team. Minions also going undefeated. And YoD, they did actually lose twice. They had a Max OT win against Maniac Suiciders, and then they had 2 losses. And if I go across, that was a forfeit loss to Minions and a 7-3 to Votem, who clinched in the 4th spot in that group. So Votem starting in that lower bracket.
Okay, cool. But we're a little bit delayed. We should have had a bit more time to do our introduction, but the teams are now finally ready to play. We did actually do like a little poll in Twitter, where people could vote like which team they think will win or which they're hoping to win. So let's actually bring it up. We can actually bring it down like right here, right below. So let's actually see what the result was of this poll. It should be popping up right now. But it's not. I actually exactly know why this is, and it should be coming right now. There we go. No. There we go. Okay, that's not working the way I intended, but there we go. You can finally see this prediction, and that's close. How close do you want it to be? Like the 50-50, of course, the closest it can really become. But 49-51, that's like so insanely close. And if we actually look at the amount of people that cast the vote, was 37. That's like such a big number. So this is really, I think this could be a really reliable stats to go from here. Because like so many people share their insight, their expectations, their desires. So we do have a pretty cool view of what the viewers are expecting. I don't know about you, Uncooked. Do you have like any idea of which team might be victorious? How many maps we will see out of the 3 possible maps? Do you have an idea?
Well, it seems like we might go to all 3. And speaking of the maps, I believe that hopefully we should be able to have the map veto ready to go for the stream. And yeah, but I think we might be seeing all 3. These teams do seem fairly close, but honestly, you do have to give some credence to the fact that NightWolve did come second in their group, which, it says a lot, and they had 17 points. YoD only had 14. So, yeah, you've got to... There's a lot of well, the points do matter. Obviously, different groups, different opponents, but NightWolve, they also were able to pick who they wanted to play against.
Yeah.
Which could be very, very powerful.
Yeah, and before we can actually jump into this match, which is promising to be a very cool one, let's actually see which maps are going to be played. Of course, it's a BO3, so maybe explain how the picking and banning works uncooked, while the maps will be starting to pop up on the screen any second.
Yeah, so starting things out, it's actually NightWolve that starts our banning order here. They are going to start us out with Cafe Dostoevsky. It appears like Villa coming off the board as well now, as we start to see the next maps coming off. I can't actually see what the stream is seeing, but I'm going to assume
you cannot.
No.
What do you mean?
I can just see me. I can't see the map, Vito. So I am going to assume that we've got to the first pick already.
You should be able to see it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's just proceed with the map ban, and we can just talk about it right after. You should be able to see it, but for some reason you are not. So, of course, the last banned map in this case was, let me quickly check, where we left off. We had Team Park and Skyscraper both banned. So now it's up to the team to pick the maps, and those will be the ones we were playing on. We're starting off with Oregon being picked by Team NightWolve, followed by Chalet being picked here, in this case by YoD eSports. Then that means there's only 3 maps left, which is Bank, Border, and Clubhouse, after which in this case Border is being banned, followed by, it's actually Bank being banned, followed by Border being banned, and then it's a Clubhouse being the decider map, of which on the first map, Oregon, it's Team YoD eSports starting as as the defending team, where for the second map, am I doing this correctly? No, actually, I'm doing something wrong. Excuse me. I'll fix it in a bit, but that's fine. Just so don't mind the information you're seeing right now. It's not fully correct, but either way, we will have this fixed eventually. So for Chalet, it will be YoD on the attack. So that's defense for NightWolves. So once again, apologies for the little issues right here, but the match is, let's just jump into the match right here. We'll talk about the things later on the go, but the match is ready to go. So let's just jump into this match, and let's see how this will go. So as the map is loading in, we're now seeing the Oregon intro video uncooked. Are you able to see this one as well, or are you not able to see anything? No. You're not able to see anything for the moment. Okay, let me just try and go ahead and fix this for you, and we'll then do the operator bands. I was talking about them.
So that's pretty cool.
That's interesting. Oh. Okay, I see what's going on. My bad.
Professionalism. It's all right. We've got a new stream package. We've got a new.
Lots of new things are happening right here, indeed.
Lots of new things.
So of course the map video gameplay. There we go. There's the gameplay at least. And now we're just jumping into this last final bit for Uncooked to finally see what he needs to be seeing, and then everything will be all right very shortly from here.
All good. It gives some time for the op bands to come through, because I'm going to be honest, I'm not expecting anything too ridiculous. So.
Why is it black? This is an interesting new issue that we have never encountered before for whatever reason. Okay, I'm quickly gonna jump to a little technical issue screen and we'll be right back. So apologies for the issues, but we'll be back soon. Okay, so we are back. Excuses for the technical issues, of course. Like Uncooked already explained, we have had to change some things with our package. The whole stream has been revamped. You might have seen the differences already. We're fairly happy about what it looks like, but of course, some things, like some unexpected things, might still happen in the very beginnings of this playoffs. But that's something we need to deal with. Well, as you might see on the left side, you do see Team NightWolve's Team Blue with only 4 members. There's a very unfortunate but very logical explanation for that. There's no issue or something. No, the player really isn't there. Unfortunately, the NightWolve members weren't ready for this game in time, and therefore one of the members couldn't join in time, and we had to start without them. So this will be starting as a 4 versus 5. Usually this will mean they need to finish the whole map for this, but we're making just a little exception right now, and we will give them a chance to rejoin later through a rehost, so at least that way we have the option to still play a 5 versus 5 to make the game a bit more interesting. Well, operator bans also happened, but we talk about those after this first round.
Yeah, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I'm now still seeing a black.
Oh, how? Because you did see it for a bit, right?
Well, that was when you were on the other screen, so I'm seeing the left side, not the right side.
That's so weird.
Oh, I can see it now.
You can see it now. Okay, it was just a studio mode thing then, because I wasn't studio mode, but maybe I wasn't fully in studio mode for some reason. Okay, well anyway, it's finally fixed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just hope that's all for today. All the issues, all the weird things to happen, because of course things are already starting out very interestingly for the stream and also for the match with a 4 versus 5. But let's just hope that's all it, and that things will be good from now on. So once again, our apologies, but let's just enjoy this potentially beautiful match for today.
Yeah, well, at least the good thing is that not much actions actually happen inside of the round, which is pretty good. We've just got, you know, the main sort of things, but here we go. There's the opening pick. That's Mamba finding excuse me, that's Mamba finding bankers on the other side. Blacklist falling as well, and YoD making full use of this 4 versus 5. There's now it's only Keats left in the 1 versus 5, and that's flawless round straight off the bat. YoD eSports starting us off strong while they still have the chance. That was an eventful round, but that's fine, because we can talk about the op bans a little bit now. We've got the Jackal, we've got the Nook, fairly standard, got the Mirror, fairly standard, Thunderbird as well, especially in the console scene, is kind of a standard ban as well. We're not really seeing much in the way of new stuff, no really progressive things, but that's okay. First game of playoffs, you don't necessarily need to try everything right away. So we can see that with the map beta as well, right? Oregon Chalet Clubhouse, it's all very known, it's all very familiar territory. It's the same thing with the operator bans.
Yeah, indeed it is. So yeah. Yeah, sorry, I'm still a bit lost after everything just happened, but here we go. Like, let's just jump into the game. Let's finally find the vibe again, so we can actually make this a very beautiful, beautiful match for today. After, of course, Team NightWolves lost in a very unfortunate way. Of course, all has to do with being in 4 versus 5. They are already down 1-0, and especially after a spawn, like a first kill actually happens on Bankus, a spawn pick potentially gone wrong. Slightly taking him out there. Things already go very wrong for Team NightWolve. In a 3 versus 5 situation, they have now find themselves within the first 30 seconds, which is of course not a great way to start a match, and this will be a very unfortunate map for them. I think so, because I do think the player will be able to rejoin later on, maybe within 10 minutes or 20 minutes or so. So hopefully towards the second half of the map he will be back, and then of course the other maps can also be played in a full 5 versus 5. But certainly things are not going the way in the way of NightWolves as they were hoping things would go, which is a very unfortunate way for them to start the playoffs like this.
Yeah, oh my god. Yeah, absolutely. And you do have the same entry engagement, and there's another great pick. Blacklist being picked off. This time a kill does come back the other way, instantly traded by Mamba though. And now it's just Keeks in a 1 versus 4. Has to try and do it all. The jumping comes through. That's Mamba being down. But the proximity alarm gives away the position of Sully. Doesn't even matter for it. The second round also goes away of YoD.
Yeah, again, another round for YoD eSports. Of course, it's not too crazy to imagine like the rounds will be going to YoD for the next few rounds as well. Of course, 4 versus 5s are very much winnable for Team NightWolve, but they're definitely starting with a like a pretty big disadvantage in this case. Of course, they just need to take out one of the attacking players to make things back to an even 4 versus 4. So there's still plenty of opportunity for them. And of course, also one of the things, it's already like a thing that changed so long ago, but of course, you remember the days when you didn't have like a reinforcement map pool or like a reinforcement pool where you just every operator brought 2 reinforcements, and if you didn't have a 5th player, you would have only 8 reinforcements in total. You remember the days?
It was awful because...
It was, yeah. Like, everyone needed to reinforce. Like, everyone had 2 reinforcements.
Yeah,
So you
like, if you're a roamer as well, like, you
yeah,
have to spend some time in fight doing reinforcements and then go out.
Yeah, and then even worse, like in this case, then they would have only had 8 reinforcements out of 10, which is of course a huge loss for the defending team. Right now, they're just missing some utility, and of course a player with a gun in hands, but that's all. It could have been much worse if the update never came, but luckily it did. So the reinforcements isn't a big issue, they're just missing one player, which of course can be very valuable, and a bit of utility that the player could have brought. But for now, of course, like I said, there's a good chance that NightWolve would just get the opening kill and bring things to an even man count, after which their chances increase dramatically.
Yeah, well, we do see Blacklist taking a bit of damage as well. Yet again, just have to dip down those back tower stairs, getting well out of dodge. Obviously, NightWolve, they don't want to surrender that opening pick for another round in a row. Bankers especially does not want to be on the receiving end of that, as Mamba has had their number in both rounds so far. And looking to possibly make it a 3rd as well. We've only had 1 death for the side of YoD as well, so they're starting this off very, very strong indeed. It means that NightWolve, they're going to be feeling a little bit shaky, especially in the player disadvantage right out of the gate. It's going to be very, very difficult to actually get yourself in that sort of mindset, and you can see that because there's nobody roaming, I think. All players are down on the bomb site.
Yeah, this time the defenders are managing to stay alive a bit longer, which is certainly going to be useful, but it does also give the attackers a lot of just opportunity to just drone out some things, open like hatches and sort, just making their attack a bit more easy for the later bit of the rounds. And that's exactly what the members of the other are doing, and especially Ascend finds the first... That's the first NightWolve member of the board, but as we're speaking, there's actually Mamba getting a kill on Keeks as well, and then Mamba getting another kill on Phantom, leaving Blacklist all alone in this 1 versus 4, 1 versus 5 situation, even though I was about to say 1 versus 4, but 1 versus 5, and as he then also loses his life to the Ying, it's another round falling apart there for Team NightWolve, putting the score on 0-3. I can just imagine how much NightWolve is like praying and begging right now for the player just to hurry up, to just be there as soon as possible, because like we will give them the chance to do like a little rehost where the player can rejoin and the match can continue in 5 versus 5. But yeah, just playing in a 4 versus 5, like yes, you still have the opportunity, but just the mentality factor, it's having such a heavy weight on that. It's making it very difficult for these players to perform, I would say.
Yeah, and especially as, you know, YoD are going to want to be making these rounds go as quickly as possible, try and exploit this advantage that they have as much as possible. That's why we've been seeing them be fairly quick on those executes. It's for 2 reasons, actually. Yeah. One, they haven't really been contested out on the map. NightWolve just aren't really feeling comfortable enough within this 4 versus 5 to be able to contest that sort of map control and that pressure out on the roam. And secondly, yeah, they just kind of want to get as much advantage from this as they can. Going for quick executes, we saw it at sort of like the 1 minute 30 mark. That's only about halfway through the round, Max, and they're already approaching the bomb site. So my thing for NightWolve is to just try and waste that time a little bit more, at least gives them a bit of stalling room to make sure that they lose as little rounds as possible while waiting for this 5th.
Yeah, it's just like for the NightWolve members, I just need to find that first play to make things so much more easy. And that's actually exactly as I'm talking about. It's happening. It's finally Blacklist getting a kill. I think that's even the first kill for the team. No, that's the second kill for the team. At least finally he has taken out one player. That's Mamba, the top fragger of the enemy as well, taken off the board. And now it's a 4 versus 4, an equal man count. And man, this must feel so good for the defending team to just have this opportunity to now play in a bit more of a fair environment, which will really give them some options to finally make something happen. Meanwhile, the attackers, however, haven't been standing still. They have opened some walls. They have got quite a bit of control. Things will get very difficult for the defending team anytime soon. But as Bankus gets a kill, it's now 4 versus 3, and for the first time ever, it's actually the defending team in the lead right here, or the advantage.
Yeah, we don't get to say that very often, especially in the situation that they're now in, but they've worked the map excellently there. Blacklist playing the Oryx allows them to just away immediately, get somewhere where they cannot be traded, but then Bankers underneath, backed up by the Oryx just in case with the C4. They know that there's going to be someone on the breach, and that's exactly where they place the C4. Works out perfectly, and that's given NightWolve the advantage, and they're hopefully going to feel a bit more confident in their gunfights. And they might even see a round come through. But Inso is not going to want to let that happen, mind you. From the big window, taking out Phantom, we leave in a 3 versus 3.
A 3 versus 3 indeed. So again, the advantage is kind of lost. Like, still, it's equal, which is still a good thing. But Blacklist gonna kill San, and Inso and Sully both gonna kill each. It's back to Keeks all alone in this 1 versus 2. He has lost the advantage and need to do his force team, but he doesn't. It's Inzo with the final kill there on Keeks, the Jaeger losing his life, and that's again a round going to YoD. It's almost seemed to go to the weight of NightWolves, which they could really use up at this point, but unfortunately, no. It's another round for YoD right there, putting the score on 0-4. 4 rounds in a row for YoD, and just 2 rounds to go before we see any role swap happen.
Yeah, it's tough as well, because defense is often where you try and favor yourself in the 4 versus 5, because you have the timer on your side. So heading into their attacking half, if NightWolve aren't able to get their 5th in, that's going to be very difficult.
That surely will be difficult indeed, and it's something they really need to mind. They just really need to start winning some rounds to still have some hope to make a comeback, especially when the player returns. If it's going to go towards 0-5 or even 0-6, it will be extremely difficult for NightWolves to come back from it. Like the return of the member, it will need to do wonders. Or even if it will go to 0-7 eventually, the map might already be finished before the member even arrives.
Imagine. That'd be so sad.
That would be so damn sad indeed. Like, just imagine you're finally coming home after being so late, already feeling so bad for your team, and then you finally start on your PlayStation, and the first thing you hear, yeah, we already lost. It's okay. You don't need to hurry anymore. We have now a little break before we go into the second map. It must feel so terrible.
And it comes down to how quickly YoD are playing these rounds as well, right? We still saw them be quite explosive into the bomb site, and there's a lovely pick. Fergie taking out Bankers, who's not having the best of games, 1 and 5, and I think that's either like the 3rd or 4th opening death for Bankers inside of the map so far, which isn't ideal. You know, it's only round 5, but still a chance to turn it around, onwards and upwards, as they say. But now the onus is kind of on the other players of NightWolve to step up. You know, we've seen teams that can win 3 versus 5s, you know, plenty of times, but it just doesn't seem to be happening for NightWolve so far. The clone is being popped, and that's Blacklist with a very aggressive pick, beautifully played by the Oryx there. Takes out Mamba. That's the first death for YoD in this round. They still have the player advantage, though, in the 4 versus 3.
Indeed, the 3 versus 4 right here, and the advantage of YoD, where basically every single defender is playing downstairs inside of the bomb site like the previous times, and as Inso finds Blacklist, it's now 2 versus 4 situation, double the amount of attackers alive compared to the defenders, and with 1.5 minutes, it's half of the round still remaining. There's just so much time for the attackers to use the utility they still have. They have nades, they have hard bridging gadgets. They have the operator gadgets, of course, and just the drones to find those remaining defenders. And as Inso finds Keeks, it's all coming down to Phantom. Phantom in this 1 versus 4 position, where he then does find Sam. It's a 1 versus 3. It's going to be a very difficult one. And as Inso finds him again, it's another round going to the attacking team, to the attacking side, which is YoD eSports, putting the score on 0-5 for this very, very sad first map.
Yeah, that's one way to describe it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, this is not what I was hoping for when I was like waking up today and I'm like, oh yes, the ESA playoffs, they're starting today. This is obviously not what you're hoping for. And I can just imagine the same thing for these teams as well. Like, especially for NightWolve, of course, this is not what we're hoping for. But maybe even YoD. Like, I can imagine this first map is not too interesting for them. Of course, they want to win it, and this is certainly helping them to work towards the goal. But at the same time, you also just want to really want fun and fair match, you know. And yeah, needing to play in a 4 versus 5 or against 4 players while you're with 5 just isn't that much fun.
Kind of feels like a bit of a lucky break for YoD, obviously, you know, 3rd place team in their group.
Yeah.
NightWolve picks them specifically to play against, and also 2nd as well. So
5 seconds remaining.
they must have been at least somewhat confident that they could beat YoD, but this situation is not working out in their favor at all. Obviously, it's going to be very disadvantageous, and it looks like we're just going to see a basement rush here, Max. They have the blitz. We've got everyone gearing up through the bunker. Ossa as well. No 1-6, which is very surprising. Going to see the super shorty probably the one to come through with that.
Could be that Inzo has gone 6. No, he doesn't. Okay, well, yeah, Blitz does.
The Ossa shield, the Talon 8 shield, there comes the flash, and that means Keeks is going to have to just dip away. C4 out, but oh, he doesn't get it off in time. There's the melee. Keeks, the opening death to the blitz, and Fergu finds the 2nd one with the pistol. Blacklist does have the opportunity to dash into the shield, but instead is going to run away. The shield gets dropped. Bankers finds one in the meantime, making sure that they at least get one for their troubles, but it's YoD, a flawless half. They are 6 rounds to 0.
Yeah, 6 rounds to 0. Something not entirely unexpected, given, of course, the 4 versus 5 situation. But yeah, if we would have just known from the very beginning this would have happened, I guess the viewers could be very disappointed, and also the Twitter voters, because of course none of them knew this was going to happen. Like, if we look at the prediction and the Twitch poll, like, things seem to be so incredibly close, and yeah, this is just so unfortunate for everyone here. It might just be good if the map just gets finished very quickly, because there's not much the remaining member of NightWolves could really do up to this point. Of course, a comeback is possible, which is just going to be extremely tricky. I think the best NightWolve can just hope for is that this match ends pretty soon, or this map ends pretty soon, and that they can start fully focusing on the 2nd map, which of course is going to be very important for them, because of course their opponent will then be on a match point, as they have already won the 1st map out of the 2 that they need out of the 3 maps that are in the pool right now. So yeah, for NightWolves, they clearly know what to do. They need to be better on the next map. They need to have full focus, just to come back together, get some get a good morale going, of course, because this is not really that good for the morale, this first map, and hopefully they can make somewhat of a comeback in the 2nd map. But for now, we head into this potential final round, where it's now, of course, NightWolves on the attacking side and YoD on the defense.
Yeah, YoD are going to be certainly very favoured in this situation, especially, you know, looking at Keeks, 0-6 so far. You're hoping at least they're going to get 1 kill. Inso hasn't died, Sully as well, but Inso 8-0 deaths, which is a ridiculous scoreline, to say the least. Yeah, I don't really know how else to put it. You've got just a ridiculous performance from each one of these players. And Blacklist gets the first, lurking down below in the freezer corridor. Now going to push their way up towards the white stairs, but it's Fergu who finds a response, takes out Phantom. And again, YoD's just with this player advantage that's been granted to them, and they're just making it work in their favor. Bear in mind, this is NightWolve's map pick as well. and they are getting absolutely torn apart. Obviously, it's difficult in this situation, but we'd hope they'd at least get one round. We saw Native win a 5 versus win their map when they were 4 versus 5, and they even won that. Yeah, it was in overtime, but they managed to get 2 points from that matchup. This time, NightWolve just seemed to be completely lost. Keeks does find their first, making sure they don't end on the goose egg. Finds a second as well. Fergu nearly catches Blacklist downstairs, but this might just be what NightWolve need in the situation. Inso nearly gets taken out. Fergu finds one, and it's Bankers to collect. Fergu now left 1 versus 2. Can't find the first, or can't find the connections on that shot. We're in a very tense situation here, Max. Fergu needs to clutch here to win the game.
It's all coming down to Fergu indeed. Of course, this might just finally become a NightWolve round, which they could really use at this moment, even though it might already be too late. But at least it will look good on the stats, and it might just make them feel a little bit better. As Fergu gets Bankus, that's his 3rd kill for the round, a triple kill. It's a 1 versus 1 situation. Will he win it? Actually, he almost does. The Sophia is so low HP, just 1, but no, he actually gets it. He clutches it out. The 1 versus 2, 1 versus 3 situation. It was, I believe. And that's just another round they are going to YoD eSports. Yeah, a 0-7 score. Something not too unexpected, unfortunately, of course, but yeah, that's just unfortunately what it is. Okay, so yeah, that's the first map unfortunately done for today. It should actually show the map right now. Let me actually also check what's going on right here. Maybe a little refresh will do its thing. No, apparently it does not, so that's something to be looked at. But yeah, that's I think I should jump into this one. This one does work perfectly. So yeah, that's the first map unfortunately done. It's a 0-7 score. Something not too unexpected, of course, given the 4 versus 5 situation. But it is a very unfortunate thing to see, because of course, most of us, I mean, a lot of people were expecting YoD to be, this match would be a very close one. Of course, NightWolve also score some points here, but unfortunately for this first map, they were given a very unfortunate start, and that is, has resulted in this 0-1. Of course, we will have more maps today. The second map will be Chalet, so the map after this, which is also the map picked by YoD, but in the end, it's of course YoD already on the match point, which is of course a very good thing for them, meaning they need to only win 1 more map for today.
Yeah. NightWolve still not out of it yet, not even out of the series, but even if they do lose this one, they still have the lower bracket.
Yeah.
That they have the opportunity to fight their way through.
Mm-hmm.
They could even get to the grand finals. You know, we've seen teams make lower bracket runs before. Heck, look at the 6th Invitational. G2 lost 2-0 in their very first series, and they went on to win the entire bloody thing. So you can't count out any team, even if they start in that lower bracket, even if they go down there in the first round, it's still all to play for, and these teams will be playing their hearts out for it, because in the end, you've got the championship at the end of the road.
Yeah, surely. Like, the only good thing is, like, both of these teams are in the upper bracket, so even if they were to lose this match, like, there's not too big of a problem. Like, they will be on the lower bracket where they still have like their final chance to still make it into towards the playoffs of like the finals eventually, but of course it's not the end of it. And like you're saying, like the comebacks are very much possible. Like even I believe it was the season 3 finals of ESA, it was actually like a 2-0 score for, I believe it was, who was in the finals back then against Team Benelux VIP. Quickly to check the one. Kind of forgot at the moment. It was Team Misclick actually. Yeah, it was Team Misclick versus Benelux VIP, and it was actually Team Misclick winning the first 2 maps. It was a BO5 back then. After which Benelux VIP won 3 maps in a row. After that, after losing 2, they managed to win 3 in a row. So that was pretty big for them. So like you're saying, the comeback is very much possible. And yeah, let's just hope that NightWolve will actually get a fair chance at this one. I can't believe we can give NightWolve maybe a little bit of extra time to wait for the final member, so we can at least start the second map with a full 5 versus 5. So maybe the break will be a little bit longer than you will be used with, but at least it will guarantee a bit more of a fair match. So we're just gonna jump into a break screen right here, and I'll be back with the second map, hopefully as soon as possible. So see you guys soon.
Well, we've got 1 minute, so it's time for pre-match or pre-map desk any percent speedrun. I'm Uncooked. I'm still joined by Boza Max, and we are going to be going into Chalet. Last map was a 4 versus 5 for NightWolve. They didn't win a single round. It was a 1 versus 2 to finish the map out from YoD, and yeah, they finished it 7-0. That's about it. What do you think about Chalet?
Well, Chalet, of course, the next map, New Chances, a map that we've seen so many times during the group stage, but finally, this is the first time, of course, within the playoffs. Yeah, it has been some time, actually, that got to Chalet, so I'm actually very excited to it, and one more exciting thing is, of course, that NightWolves is now finally back in a 5 versus 5, so finally, it's NightWolves' chance to still shine, to still win some rounds, so let's just jump straight into this map and see how things will go.
Yeah, we've actually kind of smashed that. High five up to the camera.
Woo! Okay.
Awesome. Okay.
There we go.
Here we go. And we're heading into Chalet, whisking away to the French Alps as we find our second map of this best of 3, the first series of the ESA Season 5 playoffs. As we head into this operator ban phase between NightWolve eSports and YoD eSports.
Yes. So just quick check, you are seeing the right screen, right?
I am seeing the right thing.
Weird Discord/OBS bugs right this evening. I have no clue what's going on, but at least we kind of managed to solve it for now with an alternative fix. So luckily we can actually see what's going on, or both of us can see what's going on. So yeah, we're actually seeing the operator bans happening in Flores. Not too crazy. I mean, it's an operator that we have seen quite a bit of time. So of course, very well at destroying utility with his drone. So it's a decent ban. It's one that you just see quite often. Same goes for Nuck, I would say. Especially as a lot of teams rely on information gathering. Nuck is of course one of those operators who can deny that information gathering as she can use her ability to sneak by certain gadgets and of course also mask the sound of her footprints, of her footsteps. Which of course makes it very difficult to detect her, and of course gives a great opportunity to go for a very nasty flank. This is followed by Oryx, one of the master roamers together with Vigil, would say. Of course, can relocate himself very quickly and jump up hatches.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen Oryx be used a lot of times, be making himself a bit of a nuisance. So that's why he's banned away. Valkyrie as well being taken out. The black eye cameras, very, very useful for getting that information across. And, well, it's not a surprise to see her taken off the board as well. So, knock kind of a counter to Valkyrie if you don't have a knock. Why not just ban away the Valk as well? That does leave Kaid, both Kaid and Bandit on the board, as well as Thatcher, so we might get to see a little bit of back and forth, especially looking towards the basement when it comes to the sort of tricking and all of that. We're not going to go there first though, so we head instead to the ground floor Bar Gaming.
Yes, we're instead heading to the ground floor Bar Gaming, like you're saying, not to the most predictable map to start on, sorry, bomb site to start on. But either way, it's a very good bomb site, a very fun bomb site to play. It's kind of the third choice on this map, I would say. Most teams you will see going either to top floor, which is bedroom, office, or towards the basement, which is snowmobile, wine cellar. Of course, there's also kitchen dining, which is also fairly popular, but it's like kind of like in that third, fourth spot for this map. Which actually makes Villa Chalet one of those maps where actually every single bomb site is very playable.
Viable.
Yeah, like not every, you cannot say that about every single map actually. Think about, for example, Villa. You don't really see the library living bomb site that much, really. It's playable, sure, but most teams don't even want to attempt it.
We're seeing Sen make their way into the bomb site. Phantom completely unaware. The shots, though, do go a little bit wide. YoD not being able to start this off in the same aggressive manner that they did in the last map. And Bankers gets the revenge from the horror that was Oregon. I think 3 or 4 opening deaths, not this time. Gonna find the opening pick here inside of the first, inside of the second map even. Sully though, missed drones on the kitchen corridor. Blacklist might be completely unnoticed here.
Yeah, that would be
huge.
Yes, it could be huge. Like, it would be so unfortunate if it gets misdroned. Of course, like, the attackers are not making, like, going towards his direction, so we won't see any encounter happen anytime soon. But if they place, like, for example, like a flank drone towards the fireplace area, then they would miss him. But as you know, relocating himself, the opportunity is somewhat wasted. Of course, he doesn't know anything what we just witnessed. But at least the defenders or the attackers are a bit more safe, as they don't need to worry about that Mozzie too much at the moment. Sonny, meanwhile, trying to scout ahead a bit, finding that frost trap for a frost player on top of those stairs. A very common and very difficult position to be in, of course, because it's very difficult to deal with this frost. Double ADS placed to defend her location, because of course, as long as she has that shield, it's very difficult for the attackers to get her out of that position. Nades got thrown by the double ADS, of course, which wasn't somehow scouted, I guess. Catch both of the two nades thrown. The last nade's thrown, which means this shield will likely stay intact.
Yeah, Shanks as well is going to be able to play in this forward position. A huge boon for the rest of this round. Phantom, though, not aware of the Ash sneaking in, even though there was some damage dealt. Inso as well, taking out Bankers, which means YoD reclaim this advantage, and Mamba now has this power position behind the Black Mirror inside of Connector. Shots going a bit wide, though. A lot of damage dealt in return as the Jackal sneaking up. It's Keeks who finds the prone player, and now the palm position's not safe. Inso falling as well. Keeks with a second, and now it's all down to Sully, left by themselves in a 1 versus 3. Can't even find the first. It's Blacklist from the fireplace door who locks things out, and NightWolve get that first round in the series here in map 2.
Finally, to get the first round after playing 8 rounds, of course, including the 7 Oregon rounds. It's finally NightWolve winning their first round for this evening. It's well deserved, of course, because they were in a very difficult and very unfortunate position in the first map, and it's a very good thing to see that at least they are working towards a potential comeback here by starting at least getting the first opening rounds. A very interesting approach from YoD, of course. The Ash just finding an opportunity there to take out the Mira, to take over her position, a very strong position to be in, after which the Ace was able to drop the hatch and just go for the plants. But then unfortunately the Jaeger taking out that Ash, losing the position taking the position from the attacking team, after which of course the Ace was unable to continue the plant as it was very vulnerable from the points. And I mean, the Jaeger just retaking the position was so crucial to the defense here, which in the end allowed them to retake the rounds, which they otherwise would likely have lost.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got all 5 players in, and Shanks, well, they necessarily didn't do much. You still have that 5th player. They were playing the Frost. You had the shield being placed. You have all of that ability that can come along as well. Now they have the complete package. NightWolve seem to be very, very competent, and I guess maybe also Oregon they didn't seem very comfortable. Maybe they needed the full 5. Maybe it was a bit of a misplay when it comes to the map veto.
Yeah, it could actually really be, because like when they were doing the map bans, they just picked Oregon, and from then they suddenly were so slow on the bans. I think that would have been the moment where they realized, like, hey, there's actually an issue here. We don't have 5 players, so that's why they needed to be very careful with their map picks. And I guess, like, yeah, like you're saying, Oregon, it's really a map where they would have liked to be 5 versus 5. I mean, you want to be on any map really, but yeah, I think that's the moment when they realized things were not going the way they were hoping things to go. Meanwhile, it's actually Inzo Tracker getting the first kill there on Phantom. That's this time it's a NightWolve member losing the life as first, which was the Frost. But still, things will go on the 4 versus 5. But if the Bandit is not too careful, he's actually taking a huge risk here by laying on the floor in the office door. A very position where he makes himself very vulnerable to getting headshotted. But in the end, he's managed to stay alive for now. It doesn't get spotted yet, so things will go on for him.
Yeah, it doesn't mean much though, as Fergie finds another. Gets the pre-fire onto Keeks as well. That's 2 in the round. Nearly makes it a 3rd. Caught in the reload as Shanks nearly gets the head taken off on that fluke door. Stays alive for now. Taking a lot of heat though from Piano. Completely left alone as Blacklist. Finger not quite on the pulse. Making it basically 2 isolated 1v5s. They don't know where all these positions are. And now it is in the clutch situation. Fergie getting that diffuser down. And Blacklist has it all to do. This should be 1 round apiece. And indeed it is. Flawless from YoD as they answer back.
Yeah, YoD is like, we're not having any of this. Like, you guys are, you guys won the first round. Sure, it's your first round out of 8, but we're not gonna let any more of those rounds happen. we're like, even though we played in a 4 versus 5 in the previous map, we would still have won. We're still a very strong team, and they're just showing like, hey, the first round win, that doesn't mean anything. You're not making any sort of comeback. We're just gonna fight back, and we're bringing things back to an equal score of 1-1. That's exactly what YoD did this round. They had a very good performance this round. They completely shut down Team NightWolve. Also, some very interesting plays from NightWolve as well, I must say. But either way, it didn't go in the way of NightWolves, and now we're back on a 1 versus 1 score, where things are equal again. Just as a player count in this lobby, things are equal.
Well,
yeah, we're now going for the third round in this map. Of course, we're going back to the same bomb site after just attempted it and unfortunately lost it. They're just gonna try a second time, which is totally fine. They could have chosen to go to different bomb sites, such as the basement, which is a very good bomb site as well. But just the members of NightWolves are confident enough to just try the same bomb site once more, and are confident enough that they can actually make a difference for this second attempt.
Yeah, they want to try and go for this again. Hopefully, they can at least get 1 kill. That would still be an improvement from a flawless. Yeah. Obviously, you want to get that round win, though. That's just kind of a given. But, yeah, it's a little bit slower. Inso might get caught out from this window, but no. Keeks does decide not to swing and peek instead. Vertical just being checked out from Mamba, making that entry with the Gemini clone into the library. And now the nades are going to start coming through, all that utility going to be used to clear that top mezzanine position. A crucial area of the map if you want to try and get the control that you need for the bomb site. So NightWolve need to hold on to this with their absolute life. Blacklist downstairs as well.
Yeah, I need to be very careful of Blast. Luckily, he is being droned. We can actually see the drone right at the hatch, the opened hatch. So the position is known. They won't just jump in blinds, which otherwise could have happened. But as Inso actually jumps out of the window, he walks into the Claymore Phantom. That's the first offender of the board. The Frost once again. Member tracker and also with a kill there on Bankus. It's a 3 versus 4, 3 versus 5. Excuse me. Things are just again going in the way of YoD. Especially as Sully gets a kill there on Black. This is a 2 versus 5 with just 2 dependent Lavens. Where Shanks is also getting in a bit of trouble whilst playing an office, and Keeks currently on the piano, staying there. And yeah, as his teammates falls, he's the only one left. It is 1 versus 5. Does find Paragus, so it's not a flawless round. That it's technically an improvement, but winning this round is of course what he wants. He gets a second, but unfortunately the third is not happening, and that's a round end for in the advantage of YoD, adding another points to the score and putting the score on 1-2.
Well, like you said, technically an improvement, but certainly won't feel that way. NightWolve gonna go back to the bar and gaming. They did win that site the first time around.
Attackers need to locate.
Hopefully they can do it again for their sake. Obviously, 2-4 while defending on Chalet is not necessarily going to be the worst if that's how things turn out, but maybe we see them move away from that top floor, going instead for maybe kitchen or maybe basement, something other than the top floor, because as of right now, it just hasn't worked out.
No, things certainly haven't worked out for them so far. The opportunity they have to go to the same bomb site as the first round does provide some opportunities, but in the end, it was also a very close round for NightWolves here. If the Ash didn't die, if the Ash was able to maintain the position behind the mirror window, things could have really ended differently. So it's really NightWolves who shouldn't allow any of those opportunities. 2 times in a row, a player walked into the bomb site from this door, or at least peeked from this door, and that's just something they should deny. Of course, the barricade is going to help a little bit, but they also should really keep some eyes on it, because letting it happen again can end very badly.
For sure. Sunny though, yeah, it's just going from bad to worse for NightWolve this time. On the site that was the best for them, can't even get the opening pick. I don't even know if that was planned, just a bit of a spray through the barricade, it looks like. And that is going to be the end of Blacklist for this round. Round number 4, of course. And now NightWolve, what do we do from here? The vertical pressure into library starting to be pressured now, and from the northern side as well, really converging on this position above the bomb site. We do still have Shanks on the top library position. Looks like there might be one player inside of mezzanine as well. Indeed, there is. Bankers being the one over on that area, as Shanks is actually going for an aggressive swing. Catches out Sully, who was nearly prepared for it, but the shots just don't quite land on the head. A little bit of damage sent across, but it's equalized 4 versus 4 as YoD now need to try and regroup, try and find something. Mamba goes back in with the Gemini clone, spots out the position, makes sure to have a look over mezzanine as well, sees that Bankers has dropped back, and so has Shanks now. Top floor completely in the hands of YoD. It's just whether they can capitalize and if they're aware on it, as right now it doesn't even look like they know.
No, they don't seem to know, and it's just a matter of time for them to find out. Of course, they have drones, they have the hologram of Yana, but actually some player actually has retaken those library spot space as he's just falling back right now. This is giving great opportunities for the attacking team because of course they now can put a lot of pressure from above. It's fairly early, if you ask me, for the defending team to fall back, but at the same time this does put them in a bit of a safer position. It does give them some opportunities to defend the actual bomb site, where of course things will go down in the end. So we'll just see how things go. There's just 50 seconds on the clock remaining, so the attacking team does need to hurry a little bit. This is also why the Ace is now relocating himself to the window of games, where he will soon find himself in eye with the Mira, where now an Ace charge is being thrown, however, so this is a very difficult position for the Mira to be in. They actually goes for the pick, finds the Ace and takes him out. Just not enough time to actually take out the Ace charge as well, which I was actually expecting her to do, but in the end she does get the kill, which is a very cool thing to do, and that's the Ace of the War. So the advantage now towards the defending team, and 25 seconds is certainly not going to be useful for the defending team, for the attacking team.
Yeah, it's not quite going to be enough. There's more kills come raining through. The kill feed lights up blue, and that's NightWolve getting their second round here on Chalet. Makes it up to 2, not necessarily the worst for the defense, but if you can try and push for 3, push for 4, that's when things are really going to be in your favor, as Chalet kind of 50-50, and I'm just going to quickly check the overall, because I feel like in ESA, Chalet's been a lot more defense-sided than you would expect.
Yeah, certainly. The stats of ESA sometimes don't really seem to match with the overall stats, like the global stats, or like, of course,
you know what? 52% attacker win rate, so
okay.
fairly even. Even. You've got 20 attacking round wins and 84 defensive round wins, so it's pretty close.
Okay, that's actually like a bit of an unfortunate thing that on Wikipedia we cannot look on map stats for like a certain period of time, because of course things continuously shift. So even though map might still show on Wikipedia for like in general for like defensive favorite, things might have shifted. It could just be, but at the same time, the stats of ESA sometimes just seem to differ from the overall things we generally see. Might also have to do with the fact that this is of course a console league a bit more rare compared to PC leagues, especially in terms of data being collected. But yeah, either way, it's fun. It's a unique space, and things just go the way they are. And in the end, it doesn't matter as long as the teams just make the most out of it. And as it's now a 2 versus 2 situation, we're now 2 versus 2 score. Sorry, we're heading into the 5th round, where it's of course still the same team attacking. YoD still on the attack, and NightWolve still on the defense, where the round is just starting. It's actually Blacklist just finding the first player outside that Sen, just standing by the main door. He wasn't ready for this, just with the scope, finding the head of the Sledge, which of course is a major thing for the defensive side, especially as Bankus also finds Sully, but then gets refragged by Mamba. It's a 4 versus 3 right now in the advantage of the defending team. A great start, the Sledge of the board, one less thing to worry about, and also that Nomad is going to be very useful for her to be gone, as they can now have roam a bit more freely. Shanks, like you're pointing out, very lucky to actually make it out of life, turning his back towards the opponents, but still making it out of life. And this way the round can continue in a 4 versus 3 situation, where of course NightWolve is now in the man at advantage.
Yeah. The snowmobile bridge starting to get opened up. There is Mute Jammer, which means that the success won't come through. Mamba is playing the Yana though, which means that Stanley is possible. I'm not entirely sure how that happened. Can you just pick up the thing? I'm not entirely sure. C4 kill comes out, but that's a lovely take from Fergu. And It's still a 3 versus 2. However, Inso on the bottom of these stairs just takes a little bit of time to drone out, spots out Shanks, knows they're probably going to be prone here as well. And there comes the pre-fire. 2 versus 2 now. Fergu trying to enter through the breach, can't get it done, and Blacklist from behind gets the sneak up, and there's NightWolve. They take the lead here, Max. 3 rounds to 2.
It's finally NightWolve working things in their advantage. Of course, it's not over yet. We're still only in the 6th round, or we're about to head into the 6th round right now. But at least NightWolve is doing better than the first map. Mostly has to do with, of course, their the team now being 5 players instead of 4, which makes a huge difference, especially on the morale and mental side as well. Yeah, at least they're trying to make the best out of it. If they actually will manage to win this map, then of course it will be a 1-1 map score, where we'll be heading into the decider map. And then technically, even the loss on Oregon doesn't even matter anymore. It's just back to an equal score, and we're just kind of playing the BO1 from that moment, and things just don't matter anymore. And I think that's the best situation NightWolves can really hope for. If they actually manage to do that, it will be a huge opportunity for them. Should give them a pretty big morale boost as well, because the whole circus of the first map doesn't matter anymore. So that's the best thing they can do at this moment, and they are working in the right direction. It's a 3-2. If they manage to win this round as well, it will be 4-2. But if they unfortunately lose this one, it will be a 3-3 equal score. So yeah, let's just see how this round will go. It's the last round for NightWolves on the defense. After this round, they will need to play on the attack, and then things, of course, could go differently.
Yeah, very much could indeed. It all changes. And you know what they say, Siege is a game of 2 halves after, and it very much could be the case here. We head round number 6. Gonna be cautious from YoD, I think. They need this round, really. Or we might just go to Clubhouse after all. So, Panic Station's not quite yet, but they're certainly going to be worried. They need this round, and they're probably going to know that as well. It's a perfect kill from Shanks, traded out by Inso's own Claymore. So there must have been a run out with the shotgun kill there. Makes it 4 versus 4, so all things told, not the worst. I think Shanks still possibly had a C4 in pocket, so you lose a bit of utility there, but you lose a lot more with the Argus cams. How's that one gone through? Sully with a kill onto Blacklist, just caught with his pants down. Sully as well doubling down. That's Bankers falling. Makes it a 4 versus 2. Sully's really low, but health advantage still in favor of YoD. Player advantage also, as now Phantom tries to get something done and can't. It's a huge double kill from Mamba, makes it 3 on the round, and that's YoD bringing it to an equal half, 3-3.
Yeah, it's back to an equal 3-3 score after NightWolve just managed to get that advantage the previous round. It's now lost again. Of course, it's still back to an equal score. It's a 3-3, so it's nothing too much to worry about, but ideally they would have gotten one more round out of this first half and will work towards a 4-2 instead. But now it's a 3-3. There is still opportunities. Of course, NightWolve will now need to play as the attacking team, while YoD will be playing on the defense. And like you've been saying, like, the stats are there. It's technically, you were saying, an attacking favor map, according to Wikipedia?
Yeah, only just. It's basically 50-50. I think 52% for the attacks. So.
Yeah, so it's a fairly close map. So both teams do technically stand a chance. It's just a matter of which side you're favoring, which one you're just a bit better at. And as we haven't really seen too much of NightWolve yet, of course, it could just very much be that the attack will be in their favor and that they will be able to get 4 rounds out of it. But of course, there's also a good chance that YoD will win those 4 rounds at least and win the second map as well. Both teams know what to do, what to achieve, but of course I would love to see all 3 maps today to still give NightWolves a fair chance in the final map. But either way, both teams deserve the win, of course. So we'll see how things will go. We're now into the 7th round. The roll swap has just happened, and I will see NightWolves playing as the attacking team.
Oh.
I'm actually seeing a glass. That's interesting.
We'll see. Yeah. Glass being brought along. Gridlock as well is not necessarily the most uncommon pick, especially in these console leagues. just used for area denial, can also be used as sound denial as well, because they are so loud, those track stingers. And it means that if you're getting the plant down, you can just chuck down a couple of those gadgets, and well, defenders certainly aren't going to be able to hear it. But it's actually the Ying and the smoke plant coming through on the big window. And you have Blacklist on the glass as the cover. Phantom finds one, but it's then biting back, taking out Keats, who has not necessarily been having the best of games. That's your gridlock down, and it doesn't even matter because that's Diffuser secured, and this is such a strong post-plant position. You have the glass, you have the Ying, and there comes the Ying. Bankers with a huge double kill, and now it's Sully and Mamba left in this 2 versus 4, and it looks like NightWolve might just take the lead yet again.
Yeah, it might just be NightWolve winning this round. Things certainly seem to be going their way. 4 versus 2 post-plant situation with Salina getting killed on Bankers as well. Salina getting Member getting a kill on Phantom. So it's actually 2 versus 2 again. So it's actually very close. But the timer, of course, isn't working in the advantage of the defending team, as they now do have the chance to actually go for the defuse. Shanks is just playing a bit far away, and he needs to work for the defuse, but he gets killed. They can actually stick the defuse, and his Member defuse in the diffuser, winning the round for the defending team, which is YoD. How did they lose this advantage? What just happened? Like everything they needed was there. Like they managed to go in, they managed to fully get the diffuser down without too much damage being done towards them, and then they were in this beautiful position. Even managed to work it towards a 2 versus 4 situation eventually, with the diffuser, like of course the timer just ticking on. But just somehow the defending team managed to take out all those attackers and actually go for the defuse. Wow. I did not see that one coming. And I don't think you did either, right?
I'm upset about that one.
Yeah, it was...
That shouldn't happen at all.
It shouldn't. And I can imagine that this must be very, very devastating for NightWolves. Like, it was such a good attempt. They really seem to have practiced this before. They really seem to know what to do in this position. Like, everyone was doing their part. Diana was shutting down piano area, just making sure no one can really rotate to there. And basically every other attacker was just focusing on the window, on the diffuser itself. And... yeah, like all they needed to do was stay alive, but stay close enough to actually be able to counter the defuse. And they just weren't able to.
Yeah.
And I'm not quite sure whether it was NightWolves just lacking in certain parts or just YoD being so well at fighting back. I'm not quite sure what exactly is the reason for them losing this round, but it's certainly an impressive round.
Yeah, I'm just watching it back on the stream just so I can get a little bit more of an idea. Yeah, it's an interesting one, especially you have Sully going down so low immediately. They just were, I don't know, held a bit too aggressive angles. When you're in that post point, you don't really need to take these swings that aggressively. And I think they just weren't prepared for YoD for taking this. Mamba finds the first kill. Blacklist leaves the game.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing, but in the end, it's Keats with a kill on Mamba, so things are now back to a 4 versus 4 situation where things get a bit more possible for NightWolves after losing their Yana in such an unfortunate way. This is Jaeger just sneaking past the drones somehow, sneaking past multiple members, and as Inzo gets a kill on Shanks. It's actually, again, the advantage for the attacking team, especially as Keats also gets taken out. It's a 2 versus 4 situation, and things just don't seem to be going the way of NightWolves. However, Phantom does get a kill on Inzo. It's a 2 versus 3 right now, so things could still go for NightWolves. They're only down 1 player compared to their opponents, but they need to be very careful because Bankers is playing on the window and there's something right above you on the hedge. He gets taken out as well, and now it's all coming down to the Hibana in a 1 versus 20. In 1 minute 20 seconds in this 1 versus 3 situation. Yes, I'm just so my mind is completely shattered after everything that happened today.
I mean,
so many things going on.
That, to be fair, for Phantom in this situation, anything more than a 1 versus 2 can feel kind of impossible sometimes, especially with the hand they've been dealt today in particular. It's going to feel very difficult. You've got all the defenders watching this main build position. Well, is the first pick taking out Sen? Is just in the down but not out stage, so could get picked back up and will require a bit more of a rotation, but indeed it does. Sully picks them up. The Blacklist rejoins again, top mezzanine position. spotted out of Fergu. Swing comes through, pre-fire round, but nothing gained from it, apart from a little bit of a tickle to the side of the Azami. That's Fergu now, rotating down into the basement, giving this top floor control over to Phantom, but not so fast, because you do have the rotation back up the blue stairs. Phantom takes a drop. They nearly line up for him, though, and that is now so low. The 1 versus 2. No time as well, having to stick the diffuser. The Sully is going to swing in from this door, but it's actually Fergu from the fireplace position, just spots out the feet and is going to end up getting that kill. And that's a round for YoD. We head to now 5 to 3, and it feels like that lead extending just a little bit.
Yeah, a match that already is being so destructive towards NightWolve is just getting worse and worse. The Hibana trying so many attempts to clutch the 1 versus 3, doing so much damage on various plays, but just not getting the kill. If she would have just been able to get 1 more kill, the chances would have been so much bigger, because she would have ended up in a 1 versus 1 situation where she could have either gone for the plant or for the kill, trying to bait the final defender. But unfortunately, things are it's just not a good day to be a NightWolve player today. Of course, things can still be worked around. Only 2 points behind. Their opponent also still needs 2 points to win this map and therefore the match. So there's still a chance for NightWolves to work things around if they just win the upcoming 2 rounds and make it an equal 5-5 score. And there is still the chance. But I do think that NightWolves really need to think things through when they are either whatever way they finish the match today. They need to think things through. Rewatch the VODs to see what has happened. So many things that could be done better, could be improved, or shouldn't even have happened. And will be very recommendable for them to rewatch the stream, I would say.
Oh, I didn't realize there was muted. What was I saying? I can't remember. Okay, that's cool. It's fine. Kitchen's happening. Yeah, I think, again, must-win round for NightWolve. We've probably mentioned that. Yeah, they gotta win this one, because you said on the 6-3. You're going to have to win 3 rounds in a row, then at least you have a little bit of wiggle room. But yeah, it seems like overtime is going to need to be the goal for NightWolve now. 4 rounds in a row needed to lock things out in regulation. Doesn't really seem possible. They need 3 here, though, definitely. Shanks caught in the reload. The player need wings, actually. I'm surprised we didn't actually see Mamba going for that take across onto the blue stairs. Again, just the timing not quite working out for the YoD eSports player, as Blacklist sneaking like a snake on that fluke balcony. Spotted out though, but Shanks is inside a piano, takes down Mamba as they go for the swing on that prone player. And now Sully from the bathroom, it's an airdrop, and there comes the frag grenade, taking that one out. It's now 5 versus 2 as NightWolve, we said it was a must-win round, and they seem like they're completely locked in. They want this one and loaded, as it's a 5 versus 1, shutting down absolutely everybody. The Frostmat does claim 1 life. Fergu in this clutch situation does have the Evil Eyes and actually kills the player that is downed. Indeed finds that one. They know it's the Maestro left alive now, and they know he's probably going to be off-site somewhere. Phantom going for the defuse. I don't think they're going to get the denial from this one. Indeed, they do not. 45-second timer starting to tick down. And Fergu, it's like an impossible situation now.
Indeed, a very impossible situation. And as he actually does find the sledge, he does manage to take him out. It's a 3 versus 2 situation with 30 seconds on the clock. There is still some opportunity here, but it will be extremely difficult. And as the Nomad is watching the hatch where Fergu is crossing, he gets taken out. And it's again a round for NightWolve then, putting the score on a 4-5 situation. Just 1 point behind their opponent, and potentially a great opportunity for them to work things towards a 5 versus 5. Talking about NightWolve, I think we have basically seen every single possible version of NightWolve, where there's absolutely rounds where they get absolutely destroyed, where it's a 4 versus 5, where they're absolutely dominating, like this round, where they're just playing so well together. I think we have just seen every possible version of them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, either way, with this 4-5 score, we'll now head into the 10th round of this map. Of course, it's still YoD on the defense here, for which they will be going to Master Bedroom and Office. A very popular bomb site, and it's now up to them to go for the defense here, where NightWolves will play on the attacking sides. NightWolves currently having won one attacking round, where YoD has won 2 defensive rounds. So technically still, YoD is doing better on defense, but it's now up to NightWolves to make a change of that, make it equal, and then bringing this round to 5 versus 5, which will give them great opportunities, with only just 3 rounds potentially remaining till the overtime.
Yeah, it seems that way. Pivotal round again. Otherwise, you know, 6-4, 5-5. Pretty substantial difference actually. Even though it might just seem like 1 round, it's actually 2 rounds difference when you really think about it. And if we do see an 8-6 coming through, considering that first half was a 3-3, you'd have an exactly 50% defensive win rate on this map, which is a pretty cool statistic. It doesn't really matter that much. There's a kill from Blacklist, traded out by Sully. The aggressive hop into the library gets a kill through Killbox before getting shut down themselves. Shanks, though, pushing in towards Mezzanine, does claim the trade. Senno trying to go for the second, does not find it. It's all falling apart for YoD. Inso now, the last player left alive. C4 comes out, might find 2, but no, shot out instead. Does find the first with a swing round from the reinforced wall, but they're swarming Shanks. I think that was 3 or 4 in the round there. Absolutely pivotal for NightWolve as they've brought it back, Max, so 5 rounds apiece.
Indeed, they have managed to do the thing that we were hoping for. Of course, they were already on an equal score once before, but they have managed to do it again. It's a 5 versus 5, and now we always end up in this very interesting situation where the upcoming two rounds can mean anything, or can mean everything. Either one team wins 2 rounds in a row right now, winning this map, and potentially, if it's YoD, also winning the match. Or each team winning 1 round right now and bringing things to 6-6 overtime, when then the map will be extended with a maximum of 3 rounds, and it's up to a team to win 2 out of those to win the map then. So for NightWolves, of course, they want to win it as soon as possible, of course, to still go to the 3rd map. So for them, the target, of course, is winning the upcoming 2 rounds, but the same targets can be set for YoD as well, of course, as they don't want to go to overtime or don't want to go towards a 3rd map where they lose their advantage that they currently have, as they won the previous map. So both teams have a clear mission here, but it's the question which team will actually be victorious in these upcoming 2 rounds, or will be performing.
Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb.
Well, again, it's NightWolves on the attack, of course, still playing as the attacking team. So again, it's their opportunity just to do something where they have been quite dominant for the past 2 rounds. NightWolves have been doing very well for the past 2 rounds on the attack, and if you just continue this momentum, things might work in their advantage. Of course, YoD might also get a bit suspicious, might have an idea of what's going on, how NightWolves likes attack. So there's no opportunities for YoD, of course, to counter those as well. And as Shanks is already getting damaged a little bit here, things at least the first kill on the side of the attacking team is just staying away from now. But actually, Mama finding Shanks, just going for a very aggressive pick, finding the first attacking player, which is the sledge of the board, nades of the board, and the hammer. A big loss for the attacking team, and the opening kill there for YoD, where potentially a second might follow.
He's going again. Blacklist going to need to be very careful on this trophy window. Whether reinforcement Keeks is going up for the flank and indeed takes down the Jaeger. Mamba taken down. Damage limited, minimalized. However, it's still a bit of a time sink over on the other side of the map, and it's still a good opening pick to find. Like you mentioned, Sledge has all of that utility that now just cannot be used by the attackers in this round. So, looking more towards the actual bomb site then, we're going back to Bar Gaming, and the vertical pressure starting to be applied very quickly now by NightWolve after they've found their first. Gonna try to clear away the mirror window. No one's going to be able to clear that away, but it's Inso who finds one popping up from back behind the shield. It's a jack-in-a-box as the Azami gets caught out there. Actually, no, that's the Wamai of... wow, okay, never mind. The Azami did get called out, And everyone's dead. Everyone's dead now, including the Frost. It's now Sen. Mira left alone 1 versus 3. C4 pre-placed, but nothing found from it. NightWolve, they might just find the map point here.
They might just do it. It's a 3 versus 1, which is very clutchable for the attacking team. There's still 45 seconds on the clock, which is still a decent amount of time. They have time to drone, get information, do some damage, get some further control. But Ascend then finds Bunkus. He is getting damaged quite a bit, but it's a 2 versus 1, making things a bit more workable for him. But his position is known. He's pinned in, but he finds Geeks. Are they going to throw it? Is Phantom not going to get the final kill? So much pressure on him right here, but still, he does it. Luckily, this might feel like such a relief as the pressure was building up. But at least it's another round there then for NightWolves, the first in a row, as I'm saying that correctly, and therefore a 6-5 score. Map point, I should say, sorry, map point for NightWolf, where they could potentially win this map and bring this match to a third map, which would be, what was it again? Clubhouse, right?
Clubhouse, yeah.
Clubhouse, yes, thank you.
Clubhouse.
So yeah, for now it's gonna be very interesting. Of course, this round is just gonna matter just as much as the previous one. At least NightWolf have extended their opportunities, because if they lose this one, it's not over for me yet, because they will go to overtime if they lose this round. But at the same time, they will want to win this round as well, to end this map with a 7-5 score, to bring this map to an end and go to the next map. So a clear mission again for NightWolves, and of course for YoD is to just deny this round and bring it to overtime, or they still have a chance to end this match with this map. So for now, it's clearly NightWolves doing very well in the attack. They have won 3 rounds and lost only 2. So if they manage to continue this 3-round win streak, then they will end this map victoriously.
Yeah, we might just see Clubhouse after all. After the first map, it didn't really look like it was going to go that way at all. It does have to be said, but yeah, things really been brought around. And even starting that first half, YoD looked to be in control, but it's kind of just fallen away from them a little bit. NightWolf might just be in the driver's seat after all. 7-5 looming. YoD going to want to push this to OT. It's all hanging in the balance of this round number 12. Because like mentioned, YoD, they could still lock out the series here on Chalet. We wouldn't even need to see Clubhouse. But it's starting to come onto the horizon now. His army being used just to block off the lines of sight. Fergu trying their best, along with the rest of the team, make sure they can lock in OT. Mamba finds the first pick. That's Blacklist going down. A great pick with Diana. Keeks somehow gets away with his life as Inso finds one on the double window. Gonna peek again for the second and finds it. Shanks going down as Phantom, now the next player to go in for the swing. But it's just 1 versus 1 after 1v1. And it's allowed the players to just get this massive advantage. Phantom is going to be aware of the swing, but Mamba takes it. What a wonderful find. And now Bankers in 1 versus 5. If they want to take this in regulation, it's going to need to be heroics from the Twitch, who's still stuck outside, not entered the map yet. We are going to overtime in almost every universe.
Yeah, where the first map was so one-sided, of course, mostly due to the 4 versus 5, this map is the exact opposite, of course, because it's most likely that YoD will win this round, and we will be getting to a 6-6 score, where the map then gets extended with 3 rounds, like I explained before. It's just Bankers just trying to stay alive, potentially even taking some kind of artificial tactical timeout here, giving this team time to think, to work about what they should do in this overtime right here. But as the round now comes to an end, it is a round for YoD eSports, putting this map on 6-6 score, denying the map point, and therefore we do see the overtime for the first time during the playoffs. Something we haven't seen too much either in the group stage phase. I think we only saw overtime matches about 5 to 8 times or so out of the many matches. So overtime still being a bit rare, but at least this first day of playoffs we're seeing it, and that's of course a very cool thing to see. I think this second map is much more representative to what these teams really stand for, what they're really capable of, as the first map of course didn't really show the best side of NightWolves. So yeah, NightWolves of course still being in a tight spot as their opponent is already on match points as they did win the first map. So NightWolves still having the clear mission of winning this map. Winning 2 rounds is all they need. And they need to work towards that. The unfortunate part, however, is that they're playing on the defense, which actually no, they did just as well on the defense as in the attack. So technically, it doesn't really matter. The only thing is that they haven't defended for 6 rounds, so it might take a bit of time to get used to it again.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, absolutely. YoD choosing to start out on the attack here in overtime. And yeah, like you said, it's been 50-50 so far. So an 8-6 would secure it 50-50 over the whole map. But yeah, you can't really favour any of these teams. NightWolve certainly have the momentum going in their favour, but YoD did get that final round of regulation, and quite convincingly too. It was, they had 4 players left alive, I believe. Obviously, there's no sort of economy or whatever in Siege like you would have in other titles, but it still says a lot about how you win these rounds, is how confident you're going to feel going into the next one. If you have to get a 1 versus 3 or whatever, you're going to feel a lot less confident than if you had a flawless round, and, well, they pretty much got as close to that as you can without being flawless. It's going to be spirits riding high in both camps, I feel like. So this round is just going to come down to those explosive moments. Obviously, Chalet going to be full of them. Gunfights reign supreme. We had 2 minutes left of the round now. 1 minute fallen by the wayside. Bankers got a heat early on.
Yeah, it's currently Blacklist here on the flank, a very dangerous position for him to be in. I mean, a good position for him to be in, but as he's getting drowned out, his position is unfortunately now known. Tries to throw the support in case of anyone chasing him. A bit of a guess there, but unfortunately for him, not doing a single bit of damage, which is a bit unfortunate. But the round is going on. Time has been wasted a little bit. Of course, his opponent has been scared, and it's now coming up to the remaining attackers on the other side of the map. Of course, it's still in a very tough challenge where they need to deal with this frost trap, or frost shields, I should say, where both of the ADS actually have been burned. So a great opportunity for them to throw that nade, but as Fergo gets a double kill right there, I believe it was, is Blacklist and Bankus both taking off the boards and bringing this round to a 3 versus 5 situation in the advantage of YoD.
Yeah, Phantom hoping to get a pick there. It's only the Gemini clone from the Yana, so still a 5 versus 3. Is Shanks looking to find a new angle of approach, making sure that these NightWolve players don't still stay in the same place. Obviously, they can get droned out by the attack. Their positions can be located. They need to just stay agile on the bomb site, otherwise that will happen. It's a huge kill from Fergie, making it a triple. Can't connect the quad. There's Phantom finding one back, but now they're the only player remaining. It's not gonna happen. Falling apart for NightWolve yet again. YoD, match and series a point. NightWolve in danger of going down to that lower bracket already.
Yes, indeed. That's something NightWolves really doesn't want, especially after the very first unfortunate map for them, which was in the play for 4 versus 5, like we said. But yeah, of course, things are getting scary for them now, of course, because their opponent is on map points / match points in the overtime. So they just need to win 1 more round to win this map, where the NightWolf needs to win the upcoming 2 rounds in a row, flawless, like in a row without losing any, in order to still get a chance to win this map and therefore go into the 3rd map. So it's do or die for NightWolves. If they don't, they will go to the lower bracket, which isn't too bad necessarily, of course. It's all about winning anyway, so as long as you're in the lower bracket and you keep winning, you still work your way up towards the finals, but it will feel a bit more scary down there.
Yeah, for sure, because you've used that lifeline already, so to speak, and yeah, even after this first week, we will see some teams that still have not played a game. Obviously, you have those lower bracket teams that have to wait out their opponents, but also the teams that placed first in each group, they did get that first round climax. You can't forget about that. They start in round 2 of the upper bracket, which could make the biggest of differences. I want to say that's just 1 step before the semi-finals. Indeed it is. So they skipped this preliminary phase as they head straight into that 2nd round, straight into those quarterfinals. and they face the winners of these matches. The winner of this best of 3 goes on to face Minions, who got 20 points. They only went to overtime once, and that was actually against Team Izanami, who only got 7 points. So, slightly off day. They didn't necessarily need to focus that much. They were all playing from banned pretty much by then anyway, but,
Yeah, as the round started, is unfortunately Shanks already losing his life. He was they were doing so well to find one of those defending players inside the piano, but unfortunately they were so distracted. But then the Jaeger stepped in and took out the sledge. When luckily Keeks is able to get a kill there on Mamba. It's now an equal 4 versus 4 situation where things can still go either way. There's only 1 minute and 10. Sorry?
I've just noticed a grim.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just 1 minute and 20 seconds left so far, so there's still a lot of time for the attacking team to work on their attack right here. They still have a lot of opportunities, and they need to be very careful. They need to get those kills to work this round to a 7-7, or map to a 7-7 score, where they will get their final chance in the last round. But first, they need to clear this one, where Hibana is now doing her work to clear some more lines of sight and entry points, and they're just trying to deal with the Frost, like, behind the shield. The shield actually has been dealt with, which is at least a major win for the attacking team, as the Frost can no longer hide herself there. But still, she has the stairs, which are working in her advantage. She gets a kill on Keeks, and a Fergus with a kill on Phantom. There's just 2 attackers remaining, and a Fergus gets a kill on Bangus. In a beautiful way, it's Enzo with a final kill on Blacklist, and just things falling apart for NightWolve right there, with the map coming to an end with a, what was it again? A 6-7 score. Oh, sorry, a 6-8, excuse me, yeah. You're right.
Well, that's GG's. That's the series over and done with. It's a 2-0 for YoD eSports, but NightWolve certainly put up a much bigger fight in the second half when, let's face it, they were already... Oh, I'm not in the camera. There we go.
There you go.
Hello, everyone.
Yes, very unfortunate day here for NightWolve. I mean, like, if they were only having this better opportunity on the first map of today in Oregon, if they would have been able to play in a 5 versus 5, that map could already have worked out very differently. Even if they didn't win that map, but still, like, was getting a bit close, they would have potentially felt way more confident and way less pressured into the second map. And yeah, unfortunately, the second map also didn't go the way. They got super close. A 6-8 is a beautiful score, but it's just not good enough to actually win this match. So like you said, they will be going down to the lower bracket, where they will be playing against, is it Votem, or are they starting on the other side of the bracket? Because this is, of course, the first match. Yeah, they will be playing against Votem next week, actually. Next week, Monday as well. So we will be playing 2 times on a Monday in a row. But yeah, that's basically it for NightWolves. They will be going like towards the lower bracket, where then YoD will be going towards the upper brackets quarterfinals technically already, even though it's only the second round. It's already kind of called quarterfinals for them. So of course, that's a great position for YoD to be in, as they of course are getting a bit further. Yeah, very unfortunate. Like I'm saying, I can just say not one too many time. Yeah, so many people were expecting a very close match between these two teams, and I do think we did see that on Chalet, and basically any map could have gone like that, as we saw on Chalet. But of course, we didn't get a full chance to actually see NightWolves play here today, which is unfortunate, but it's the way it is. Yeah, so we don't get to see Clubhouse. Unfortunately, it's all over for today. Of course, we only have 1 match per day for now. Of course, since we now are in the playoffs, where matches are being played in BO3. And as things currently stand, we'll have matches every 4 matches a week on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, where things will where we will see less matches a week towards the week 6 or 7 or so, when we're getting closer to those grand finals. So that's basically it for today. Of course, Wednesday we do have more matches coming up. I believe Chamberlain will be the caster for that evening, potentially joined by another caster. But that will be a very good match, because it will be Penta versus Molotov Gang Germany. So it's going to be a very cool match on Wednesday, again on the same time like today. So the match will be live at 8 p.m. CEST, so Central European Summertime, as we have just made a change towards the summertime last weekend. So yeah, unless you have anything else to say, Uncooked, I would want to wish everyone a good evening.
Yeah, just looking out for my UK homies at 7 p.m.
Sorry?
Just looking out for my UK homies, 7 p.m. our time in the land of the good old United Kingdom. It sucks here, but that's fine because we have Siege to watch. Not anymore tonight, but make sure you stick around on Wednesday because it will be a hell of a match. We've got bangers all throughout the playoffs, and it's going to be Jamboree taking you through Penta versus Molotov Gang Germany. The best second place team, they got to pick first, and well, you don't want to miss that one. So without further ado, we're going to be packing up this stream for today. Thank you all very much for watching. Thank you to Max,
Thank you too.
That side of me, got it in one, to who has been helping me out with producing the stream. It was a little bit rocky. I'll be telling him off after that.
Yeah.
After we go off. I'm joking, of course. It's all new, and he's got a lot to worry about. Observing, casting, producing, all at the same time. Man's a full package. So, what can you say other than thank you and bloody well done?
Thank you, and of course, thank you for casting with me. It was an absolute pleasure. It was a rocky start, but at least we had a very fun match, especially towards the map 2. And I'm excited to cast with you in the near future as well. So for now, we wish everyone a very good evening. Have everything sink in, have this very interesting match for today, and I will see you guys on Wednesday. So have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.